Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Eric. I'm Party Ghost Gamers, and today I'm going to be showing you a little thing that I'm going to do. It is going to be me editing an achievement guide. So this is something that I've never really done before, so I'm just going to kind of wing it right now. I'm going to turn down the volume on my microphone real quick, just so that way it's not as deafening. So yeah, anyway, so this right here, I don't know why this is doing this, but okay. There we go. I don't know why that was doing that, but that's fine. So this right here is PowerDirector. I believe this is version number 10, I believe. I can't say that for sure. I want to say it's number 10. No, it's this should be PowerDirector 15. This is done through a company that I ended up buying quite a while ago. I think I started when they had like 13 out or something like that, and I've turned out to really love it because I originally started off on Windows Movie Maker, which is unfortunately not very great. So anyway, this right here is just kind of the template that kind of starts you off. So this right here has like certain things. So like you've got this right here, which is a 3D video. So if you wanted to, you can go through and I'm just gonna ignore that. You can go through, and this right here just kind of plays you through whatever it is. But anyway, we're gonna get rid of all this because we don't need this. And then I'm going to go ahead and import. So I guess for some reason you can't see it, but this folder right here is your media. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose whatever folder it is that we're gonna do. So let me just go ahead and choose. So I'm gonna put in my intro stuff and my outro stuff, and then I'm going to go ahead and actually select a specific folder. Let's go ahead and let's do death squared death achievements. So anyway, what's going to happen is this is me kind of showing you how exactly my process is on how I edit achievement guides. So I have two different intros that I'd like to choose. So like everybody knows the very famous, or at least the very used, this right here, and I don't know how loud that is. I may want to turn that down just a smidge. So that's my normal intro, and then of course I have this intro right here. I personally like the first one more. I haven't used this one in a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this to there, and then I move in my entire video of this right here. So my process is kind of starts off with putting my intro in and then just putting the entire video in. And then the other thing that sometimes I do this immediately, sometimes I don't. I'll do it just because then I don't have to worry about it later. Then I put in my intro, which is this right here that I made myself. And it kind of skips a little bit just because my computer kind of sometimes has a tough time running a lot of this. At least recording and editing at the same time. So anyway, what's going to happen is I like to take out about 10 seconds of this. So this video, this intro starts off at 10 seconds. So I typically go to about 20 right here, and then I just cut that. So now this right here is my intro piece. Now after that is what I like to do is kind of go farther in to like right here. So I kind of like play out a little script in my head as I go, so I can be all like, hey, what is up, guys? Like as this right here is playing, I sit there and say, hey, what is up, guys? My name is Eric. I'm Party Ghost Gamers, and today I'm going to be showing you this achievement guide, and then kind of go through and show you where exactly it is that you need to go and what you need to do. And so a lot of this right here is going to get sped up just because this right here is like a 30-minute video of me trying to get an achievement. So I'll go ahead and leave in 6 deaths. technically 3. And then I'll go ahead and I'll probably speed up this entire thing just so that that way you can kind of see this one right here. So I got the 100 deaths. Right there, I'll stop it. So then is what I like to do is go in here, go into my tools, power tools. You can't really see that part on the screen, but in this right here, it says tools. And then in it has power tools, motion tracker, action camera center, binding effect. I just go to video speed. I do speed adjustment. There we go. Okay, so this right here is what my screen looks like. And so at 100% speed, it's a 1 minute and 8 second thing. So we can cut that down to probably about 20 seconds. So right here, oh no, I don't want 2 minutes. I don't want to slow it down. So I want 002000. And so that is about 300% sped up. So I could actually probably speed that up to 4. Make it 17 seconds while I kind of explain stuff. It goes back over to here, and then this right here is what it shows. So now when I play it back, it just speeds this up quite a bit. And so that right there then shows, like this right here, shows me getting this achievement right here. And so I can go ahead and cut this. And then I'll probably cut it to right there, showing the party mode. And so that was me saying that I had never done this right here before. So I'll go ahead and I'll cut to the next level. And so this is what that looks like. So that says that right there I got just because I completed a party level. This was me trying to figure out how to get. Oh yeah, so I had to log into a second account. I typically like to drag it instead of have it play sometimes, just because it'll save me a little bit of time, but not like a ton. And so that right there is just like everybody dying repeatedly. So a lot of this I could probably just be all like, okay, so this is all you have to do. So we can speed up like a lot of the achievement progress. So, hello kitty. Where's the last achievement? There we go. So I'll go, there's the last achievement that was gotten. So I'll go through, and just to save a lot of time, because like I said, a lot of this right here, so like a lot of this right here is just showing like the deaths and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll get 4, sometimes I only get 3, sometimes I only get 2. And I was like, if I'm only going to get 2, then I'm just going to go ahead and so I signed out right there, and then I just went ahead and went back to this mode, and just because I want to see how long it would take even if I sped it up at 400%. So I'll cut it right there. That's right here, all the way back to the very end. So I'd probably keep it, like I'd probably slow it down right about here. So this right here, if I went through and I sped this up, so that's this right, that one clip right there says that it is 20 minutes long. So if I sped that up by 4, it would put it at a 5-minute. And I definitely won't do that. I'll probably just cut it to like probably cut it at about like 90. Just so then, like I said, I can kind of keep it really short. So yeah, this right here turned from a 30-minute video now down to a four almost 5 minute video, and even then we're still not done with that. And so that right there, I'll go back to these. I'll probably speed this one up just by a little bit, just so that way it'll save me a little bit more time again. I'll speed it up by, I'll do 2. I'll do 200%. Cut it down to a 5-second video on that. And so then that one right there. And then there's my final death. I'll wait for the achievement to pop up. And so I typically don't like showing the dashboard. I might just keep it in for this one. So I'll go ahead, I'll just cut it right there. And then now is what I do is after I've gotten the achievements that I wanted to record for, I go through and I go to the progress inside the game. So like that right there's me going to all my achievements, going in through here, seeing all my friends, go to death squared. And then this is me going through, finding all the achievements that I recorded, and then I'll do like a bigger version of it. So like that one right there is died 50 times in a single level. So I'll go ahead, cut. This right here can get deleted. And so I typically try to go for about 5-10 seconds on that. Cut that one. I guess I went a little bit long on that one. This one right here, so I'll cut that last piece. Do that. And so yeah, this right here is just kind of my process. It's with achievement guides, it's somewhat tedious, but at the same time, I try not to get too specific with it. Because if I do that, then well, I mean I do try being specific so then people can get easy achievement score or trophies, whichever one it is that everybody uses and anything like that. But it's just more so like I just like anytime that I can, if it goes into too much detail, I try to simplify it as much as I can, and apparently that's gotten people to not like me. And Kitten needs to move because you're gonna run into my mouse or you're gonna step on my keyboard and I'm gonna get pissed. Okay, so yeah, this one right here shows like the 10 deaths, which I didn't record, but it does show that I did that. So now is what I would do is I would go in order. So like it starts off at so this is 50 deaths in one level. So now I'll probably move this out here just so that I can rearrange these. So like this can go right there. This one's number 1. This one's 100. That one's 4. All 4 players dying at the same time. So that's 100. I'll select all these, move these down here. I'll put the 50 down here. Actually, I could probably, there we go. Move that there, that there. 50 times in one level. 100 deaths. This one's 250 deaths. Move this over here. This is 999 deaths. This one right here is, that's not what I wanted. Stupid window just popped up. Move this right here, and then I'll move this a little bit further in. So like this one right here doesn't look like it's touching. So I'll go ahead and do that one. This right here is actually a good, so like this entire thing right here for this video is like 7 seconds. That one's fine. This one right here could probably be slowed down. So I'll go ahead and I'll slow these down just real quick. Okay, so now that I have sped all those, well, I slowed them down. I sped them down. That's what I wanted to say. So now that right there is what the timeline looks like for me. So I know lots of people do like a little bit different of stuff. This right here is my process. So now is what we're going to do. So this right here are all the videos that I put in. So like this one we didn't need, this one we didn't need. There's little check marks up above in the corners saying like this right here is what I put into this right here. So now is what we want to do transitions. So we click on this one right here, and then from what everybody already knows about me, if you've seen any of my achievement guides, I just like doing the nice simple fade. So we'll go ahead, we'll just stick these in everywhere. So that one actually probably doesn't need one. That one, well, so this is kind of where it gets a little bit tricky for me with some of these. So like this right here is where I'll start playing a video. So like this right here is going through, it's playing, so nice little fade. I went from there. This is where I'd be speaking. This is where I'll put like some font or something like that. Then it goes straight to story. So I'm on level 19. I went to level 1 just because this is the easiest. You can skip this right here.
Good morning, Iris. How are you today?
So, and then this right here is just where I ended up doing that. I believe this is where I just sped this right here up. Here shortly. And here we go. Okay, so now it's going to get a little bit choppy, which is fine. So that one right there didn't need a transition. That one right there doesn't need a transition. This one does. Let's put one right here. And so that was the 100 deaths. This is me showing that right there. And then I didn't show how to do that one. I did show that I got an achievement for completing the party level. So, you know, that one could use one too. Why not? We'll do it a little bit at the end, which is fine. So let's see. This was just me showing all the achievements that were being gotten. And then that one needs that right there. So that was a good fade. And then so this one right here is when I would do another fade, is going into the first achievements. But then after that, so like I'll probably just keep this as it is. Not put any transitions in it because they're only 7 seconds. The only other one that I would put a transition on is this very last one. So then that way it goes into the outro, which is very nice looking. Now is what I'm going to do is go over here into the text and put in some text. So I do have a default one. I have a Far Cry. I have Octodad. I have this one right here. What's this one? I haven't seen this one before. Well, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's neat. I probably won't use that, at least not for this right here. So I'll probably just choose a default one, and I'll put this in right at the end. There we go. And so the nice thing is typically if you leave this right here at about 10 seconds, that's about how long the text goes for. So now I'll double click on that. So this one right here is where all my title stuff is. So I typically like to do this directly right in the middle, so you can't really see this. We're going to fix that because we're going to highlight this son of a bitch, and we're going to change the color to black to match this right here. So I'll actually probably just change the font to the, actually, that one right there. That looks good. So now I'll go through and I'll delete this, and then I'll change it to, oh, what's the achievement names? I need to double check that. Seriously died. Nope. And then I'll do and more. Achievement guides. So I kind of like to adjust that like where it needs to be. Which I could probably change the size of the font on here, go a little bit smaller just so that it's not so much more in the way, and then kind of adjust it so then that way like this right here is it doesn't intervene with this right here. So this right here, I mean, I just kind of choose whatever text. Sometimes if I'm trying to go for like a specific one, like maybe I'm doing like a Halo achievement guide, I'll actually go through and be all like, so I think, and this is going to be kind of weird, but I think the one that I actually have is, oh, I guess that's the Ghoul one. That's the one that we use for Ghost Gamers. So like this one right here is for Far Cry. As you can see, it's kind of messed up because it has to be in all capitals. Dead Space, I think, is the one that I use for Halo because I don't have an actual Halo font, which I probably need to download. Doom is the achievement guides for Doom that I did a while ago. Far Cry again. We'll do the Ghoul one because I actually kind of like that one a little bit more. It looks a little bit better. And then, so another thing that you can do is you can go through and scroll down in here. And so, like, say you want a shadow. And you can change what shadow color you want. So let's do green, because green's my favorite color. So, like, there you go. See? Now you can kind of see, like, what the outline on that right there is. Although I probably won't do a shadow on that, because I think that right there is perfectly fine. You could do a border on it, which you could do, so like, if you really wanted to, you could do that as black, and then you can change the actual font, or the actual color to white, and then now it looks like this. Which, that looks good. Not necessarily too much of a fan of it, though. So, I typically like to just keep it as black, and then this one doesn't necessarily need a border. So yeah, and then now, this is me scrolling all the way up back to the top. So this right here is what I have selected. Now is what I like to do is go into the effect menu. So you have to have that selected. Then go into the effect menu, and then I like to do the starting effect, which, as you can see, there's a lot in here. Right here is my fade in. So now whenever the video starts, it'll be like, okay, so this is transition, and then as it fades out, this right here is fading in. So that's my starting effect, and then I always do the ending effect as a fade as well. With this one, I might actually change it just because there's not an actual transition, it just goes straight to the next one. So this one right here, I might do let's not do swirl. I mean, I've used the glow one before, and that one's kind of neat, because like that one right there. Yeah, see, it just does that. So yeah, let's do that. That's not too bad. So now we'll just do okay. So I guess there we go. So I did fix this. So we'll go ahead. We'll play the transition again. So that's my fade in, seriously died, and more achievement guides. And then it does a nice little glow effect. And then as that disappears, it goes on. So now, so to me, everything looks ready. It looks beautiful. So now is what we want to do is we want to go into our produce area. So there's the 3 different tabs. You've got capture, edit, produce, create disk. So capture, you would obviously capture. If my webcam wasn't running, I could do capture and it would capture my webcam. Edit is obviously the one that we were just doing. Produce is now what video format you put this in. So now is what I like to do is I like to do enable preview during production, just because then I can see how it looks as it's going through. And then this right here, you can't see it, but this little French fry button, or 3 dots button, whatever it is, lets you choose whatever designation that you want this at. So I typically like to, I'm just going to put this in achievement guide. And then I want the file name to be death squared. I realize you guys can't see this, but guides. And so now this right here ended up changing. Now we'll do start, and this right here will go through and render. I won't show you the entire rendering process, so we'll let this render through and then we'll be right back. Alright, so now is what ended up happening is that ended up getting produced. So the nice thing is with that right there is so my computer is really weird on how I have to do a lot of things. So now I'm going to go back into the edit section and leave this as it is. But so my computer is really weird, and it won't let me do what I specifically want it to do. So for example, is what ends up happening is, so now is what I need to do is do a voiceover thing with that, which I'll probably get to that here in a second. So then is what ends up happening is, instead of me being able to just record, so I could technically do capture on this and record my audio with it, but for some reason the audio and the video never ends up syncing up, so I actually have to render it, end up going through watching the video and recording me doing the voiceover, then import that audio over into this, edit it in, and then redo it again. So it sounds really complicated and tedious, which it's tedious for sure. But it's kind of one of those things that there's not really a lot that you can do about it. So anyway, I guess now is what I'll go ahead and do is I'll show you guys the audio director, which is also used from the company called Cyberlink. That's who they are. That's the company that I use the stuff through. There we go. Okay, so this right here is my audio director. So I don't think that I will be able to use the microphone just because I'm in the middle of using it right now. I guess I can kind of see. So what you can do with this is you can actually do quite a few of a couple really cool things. So I guess I'll see. I guess okay. So it will actually let me use this. So this is my actual wavelength form on everything like this. So I guess I can show you guys what this right here would look like when I'm recording, which is I guess what I'm doing right now. I probably won't add in the whole like me doing the actual audio part of it, like watching the video and putting in the weight, like putting in the like me showing you what I end up doing for it, because really all I do is I just record it as I'm watching it and then export it. But I figured I might as well just show you guys what this right here is like. So obviously you can see this right here, so I'll go ahead, stop this, and then I'll play it back just real quick. I guess okay, so it will actually let me use this. So this is my actual wavelength form. Okay, so that right there is essentially what I just ended up saying. So like this right here is my actual audio. So there is a couple of different things that you can use with this, which is, so like say the audio is really quiet in certain spots. So like say this right here, I speak really, say this spot right here, I speak really quietly, and I want to boost that. So I can go over here, go into boost, and then I can actually bring it up to, let's say 7 decibels, which is probably going to be, yeah. Adjustment is complete. I'll do never show again because I didn't know about that, which is, I guess, what I'm doing right now. So, yeah. And then, of course, you can always Control Z, fix that. So you've got like boost, you've got fades, you can trim the audio, you can adjust the length, you can change the pitch. So if you really wanted to, this right here, I can make myself sound super deep. So I'll go ahead and apply that.
Which is, I guess, what I'm doing right now.
So you can sound really demonic, or you can go through and make yourself really high-pitched.
Which is, I guess, what I'm doing right now.
Which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So you can do that right there. You could do pitch bender. Sorry, I'm just kind of playing with this. And then you can also like reverse it. So that's your adjusting. You can apply effects to it. So dynamic range control, delay, reverb, phaser, flanger, chorus, echo, vocal transformer. Vocal transformer is pretty fun. I'm not sponsored in any way on this right here, but definitely worth the money in my opinion. And then there's other things that you can do. So like you can do restore. So you can go through and you can restore. So like visual repair, noise reduction, hum removal, hiss removal. You can do mix, where you have like a whole bunch of other things. So like you can plug in a whole bunch of microphones to your actual computer or anything like that. So like say you have like a guitar and you want to plug that in, that can be track 1. Say you have a bass, you can do that one. Say you're doing drums, that can be track 3, and then you can add more tracks and adjust as you need to. and it's live recording. So like this one right here, I can sit here and say, this is my Yeti microphone. Okay. This one right here, this one I can change to my microphone on my webcam. Or if I had my other microphone here with me, I could do that right there as well. So anyway, let me go ahead. I'll record the voiceover and then I will be right back. Okay, so now that I am back, this right here is the finished audio section. So this is the audio that I did for the achievement guide. So now I want to go into the file area, and then I can just export it straight to PowerDirector, which I'll go ahead and I'll do that. It just wants to make sure that all modifications will be saved as an audio file and sent to PowerDirector. Do you want to save the changes? You want to do yes, and then you just have to name it. So I'm going to probably do, oh, you can see it. Death squared deaths. And then I'll just go ahead and do produce. And it'll go ahead and produce this right here. And then I think it should automatically switch me over to the... Yep, so it automatically kicked me over to the PowerDirector. So now the easy thing is with this right here is you can actually, as long as you started recording at about the same time, you can just go ahead and place this right here in. Now, my final process that I like to do with this right here is make sure everything looks good. So like there, you've got some of these like little dots right here. This right here is kind of normal in all honesty. It's just like I was like a little bit too loud on those right there. Now, like if the entire thing was like entirely dark blue, then I was really too loud and I should redo the video, which unfortunately I kind of did that with the last video I just uploaded, which just to kind of date this, it was the it was a, oh fuck, what was it that I just uploaded? It was the Mars achievement guides on killing some of the aliens and that, just to kind of date this video, which was uploaded I think 2 days ago. So anyway, like I said, I just go through, I make sure everything looks good. Hey, what is up guys, my name is... So this right here, I'm actually probably going to slide just a little bit forward. Hey, what is up guys, my name is Eric, I am part of Ghost Gamers, and today I'm going to be showing you Death Squared, Seriously Died, and all... So yeah, I just go through... ...this with a friend, if you're going to be doing... like the party mode. Ignore me on this part. Just because it's a lot easier. So yeah, now is what you do, is you go ahead and you produce it one more time. So now I will actually make sure that this goes into a separate video file, so then that way I know exactly which one it is to record. But anyway, yeah, that right there is my entire process on how to edit an achievement guide. So so just to kind of, I'll leave this part in the video just because then that way you guys kind of know. This process takes me about an hour for one video. So for example, this one right here was just a 30-minute video that got cut down to, it looks like almost 4 minutes. Now, certain guides take a lot longer, certain guides take a lot less. So like if you're doing like a collectibles guide, that can take anywhere from, you know, if you're doing it level by level, it's not too difficult. You can of course split them up and then edit them as you need to. And then for instance, I had an achievement guide in BioShock that I did, I want to say it was about 2 years ago now, which was a 30-minute achievement guide on how to get all of the audio logs. Now, the downside with that right there was I had recorded every single level in BioShock 1, getting every single audio log. And I made sure, like, the ones that were missable, I made sure to specify that they were missable. And I kind of did my best to explain, like, where all of them were and stuff like that. And let me tell you, I recorded for, I think it was 7.5 or 8.5 hours and cut it down to a 30-minute guide. It took me about a full day for me to go through and edit it. Or, well, I guess I wouldn't say it took me, like, literally 24 hours to edit it, but it took me a good 4 hours to go through and edit it because I wanted to make sure that I had everything correct. I wanted to make sure everything looked good. I wanted to make sure that everything that I put in was what needed to be done. And so it was one of those things that I just, like, it was one of those things that I did for everybody to make it easier on them, even though it took me a lot longer. And so, yeah, it kind of depends on the video. I haven't necessarily, like, actually done a full edited Let's Play yet, just because I'm actually waiting for 100 subscribers before I start doing that. I'm also hopefully waiting to get another computer. I have another capture card, I have another microphone, and Alex is going to help me record stuff, so then that way everything can get done. And then, of course, I'll edit them, and they'll be entertaining and shit like that. There's another thing I was going to mention as well, but I can't remember right now. The other thing that I was going to mention was I'm completely, like, or at least for the most part, self-taught. Like, everything that I have learned, if I came into, like, a point where I didn't know what exactly needed to be done or I needed help figuring out how to do something, I looked up a tutorial video. Other than that, everything that I've done editing ever since I was in high school, so I've done about 5 years of editing. I feel like my techniques haven't really improved a ton, but at least for, like, basic editing skills, I learned off of Windows Movie Maker. So if you have, you know, just any normal PC that is not Apple product, you have Windows Movie Maker. That's where I started out on. I've done this right here, being Cyberlink PowerDirector, which I'll probably include a link down below in the description for you guys, saying, like, who these people are. But these guys are who I've been using for the past, I want to say, 3 or 4 years, and I've really, really enjoyed them. I know Chris, who I know everybody who's seen our videos knows Chris, has seen Chris. He likes to use, I think, Sony Vegas Pro. He really likes that one. I've seen people use Adobe. I've seen people use, like, the actual Mac software that Mac comes with. So it's just up to personal preference. I just wanted to show you guys my personal touch on what I like to do with editing achievement guides. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope this kind of gives you a little bit more insight on, like, how to edit a video, or if maybe you're looking at how to edit a video or achievement guides, this right here can kind of give you a good guideline. So anyway, like I said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.